Hello everyone and welcome to today's video where we are checking out the Bitcoin price chart. We will take a look what's been happening in the past few weeks from the last video I made, and also what I think is going to happen in the future with the Bitcoin. We will be checking a few different indicators, and also in the second half I will show some Bitcoin news. So if you are interested in that, stay tuned for that one, and let's jump into the analysis itself. So first of all, let's take a look where the Bitcoin is at the moment. So we can see that it's here around the $56,000 mark, and we can see that there is this dashed blue line, very thin line, which is just around here. We can see that this line acted as a strong resistance. We had this breakout here, a little bit of a backtest, and then unfortunately we came back down below this resistance, and now we are struggling again to break out. You can also see that we've bounced off of the 50-day moving average, which is this green line over here. And if we zoom out to find out what this blue dashed line is, you can see that it's the middle of this long-term huge channel which catches all the highs and all the lows from the Bitcoin rallies. So it goes all the way to 2013, it captured the 2013 highs, the 2017 highs, and also pretty much all the lows except this huge downward spike from the March crisis 2020. However, it came back into this channel and we are still staying in this significant long-term channel. If we now switch to the 2-hour candles, we can see the movements a little bit better, and also you can see this support I found here, which goes all the way back to the October 2020, which we can consider the start of this huge rally. And so far there has been just a few breaks of this support just here around the all-time highs from 2017, so that was kind of expected, and also short spikes over here in the January where there was quite a big weakness in the Bitcoin. However, now we are breaking much more significantly under this long-term support, which could be a little bit worrying. Also, we are still under this dashed line, which is the middle of the channel, so also a little bit bearish look so far. And if we take a really close look to what's been happening in the past few weeks, after breaking the support we came right back up to the support and we were actually rejected, came back down. We tried for the second time to break, which we managed to do a little bit of a breakout, but it wasn't unfortunately successful, and we came back down. Very large correction. It was about 9 or 10%, and now there was a slight recovery phase. We are gaining some momentum again, but if we look down here to the MACD, the momentum is starting to fade a little bit. So the next few weeks will be very interesting if we will be actually able to break this resistance and enter this bullish trend again, or even break out this now resistance and continue in this very bullish channel from the October. However, to make things a little bit more optimistic for Bitcoin, we can see that we managed to break out of this downtrend resistance which started in the half of March. We break it slightly over here, but we weren't successful. Then we bounced off this actually here, so we were rejected again, but now we were finally able to come above this resistance, so it looks a little bit better that we are not in this downtrend anymore. However, I would wait for some kind of a backtest, and then we can say we look much more optimistic for the future. And actually guys, from the time I recorded the previous clip, as you could see, the price has jumped a little bit up, so that's some great news. We will just quickly check what happened recently. So the major thing was breaking this resistance. We did a bit of a back test and we jumped straight past this another resistance I was talking about. So this was extremely bullish, and the greatest thing ever happened. We backtested the support again and jumped straight back up, and now we are hovering at around 58,000 US dollars per Bitcoin, which is great. And another great thing is that we are hovering now just above this support now, which is very strong. We are doing a bit of a back test, so it looks very bullish for Bitcoin in the past few days and also looking in the next week. And I hope we can challenge this resistance now and get back into the strong uptrend as we were since the October period. But back to the video. Taking also a look at Ethereum, we can see that it was going sideways for pretty much 2 months now, still staying above the all-time highs from 2017, but the performance is not amazing the past few weeks. Also checking the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, we can see that the ratio is staying pretty much the same, so the Ethereum and Bitcoin are doing pretty similar moves. I talked about the significance of staying inside of this long-term channel, which would be very great for Ethereum because it would mean that the Ethereum would overperform Bitcoin in the near future. However, now we are staying outside of this channel in between those supports, which are also quite long-term, going all the way back to 2018. So I don't think this is the end of the world and we can still manage to climb back into this channel, but we will have to wait and see how is the performance of crypto in the next few weeks. However, we can safely say that the altcoins are performing much better at the moment. And by the way, if you are enjoying this video so far, please make sure to smash the like button to help me with the YouTube algorithm to reach more people. And at the end, maybe consider subscribing if you want to see this kind of content in the future. And now we can continue with the analysis. So here I have some very interesting charts as well. This is from the lookintobitcoin.com. I will put this in the video description, and this is the stock to flow model. This basically visualizes the price with the relation to the halving periods. By the way, the price here is in logarithmic coordinates, so that's why the space from $1 to $10 is the same as from the $10 to $100, etc. And if we take a closer look to this, we can see that this purple color is 0 days until the next halving, and this red one is the longest amount of time of 1400 days, and we are at the moment right around here, so that's about 1100 days. So we can say that recently in the April-March there was this halving event of Bitcoin, which previously happened in the June-July 2016 and September-November 2012. After those events there were those huge bull runs because for the miners Bitcoin halving means that the reward for the confirmed transaction is cut to half. So from the halving point there is much less reward for mining a new blocks. Therefore, for the miners to keep this relevant, they need much more increase in the price. However, those things aside, we can see that from the halving period there was these huge runs in the middle of these steep phases. I'm looking at this red line, which is the stock flow 365-day average, which is predicted here in the future as well according to the next halving events. And we can see that pretty much we are sticking to this line so far. So we are again in this steep phase of this line, and after this steep phase there comes a bit more flat line over here, and because of the huge bull run there is usually a peak above this flatter line and then some kind of a consolidation. The price comes down a little bit and everything calms down. So this happened in the 2011, 2014, 2017, so we expect it could go the same way this time around as well. So we can still expect some kind of a peak right around here with some small consolidation to come down with the price a little bit, but it looks like the price will not drop that much if there is this peak, so maybe to like 40,000 US dollars or something like that. And we could expect the peak to be, for example, around 200,000 US dollars, something like that, if it looks similar to those previous peaks. So from this point I don't think the bull run is over yet. we have to stay patient and hodl to our coins. And now jumping to some news about Bitcoin, we can see that Oakland Athletics baseball team is accepting Bitcoin for private suites. So you can basically buy those private seats for Bitcoin, which is just more adoption of Bitcoin, which is great. And then we obviously have another news from Michael Saylor, who we know is very bullish on Bitcoin. And he says that the best use of money and time is to buy Bitcoin, obviously, and expects the Bitcoin to go after gold and bonds. So if you don't know Michael Saylor, I recommend checking him out. I will put the link to this article to the video description, and you have this video down here. So definitely, if you don't know him, check him out. He has some very interesting ideas, and he is the CEO of MicroStrategy, which has been buying Bitcoin as one of the first large tech companies. And pretty much Michael Saylor is buying Bitcoin no matter the price. If there is a dip or it is not, he's just buying and buying and buying. However, on the other hand, we have some more difficulties to Bitcoin because India wants to introduce an all-out cryptocurrency ban. So far there has not been firm decision. However, they are thinking of making Bitcoin illegal or any other cryptocurrencies illegal in India, which you know is one of the largest countries in the world by population. So that would not help the adoption of Bitcoin. I don't think this has gone through yet in the parliament. However, if it would, India would become the only Asian giant to prohibit those private cryptocurrencies. So we will have to wait how this will unfold. Another interesting article I found is that long-term Bitcoin holders still are accumulating, suggests the conviction, which they take from this graph from Arcane Research. So the amount of people who are holding Bitcoin for a short period of time is decreasing according to this. They say also that the 3 to 5 year active supply metric started to decline after the previous bull run when it reached about around the $19,000 and at the moment the 3 to 5 year active supply is approaching these highs of 2017, which we can see on this blue line here. And they say that since 2019 the growth of this 3 to 5 year active supply indicates confidence among long-term holders. But on the flip side, there was decline in active supply of 6 months and 2 year segments, indicating that short-term holders have booked their profit. So that's this black line, and the gray line over here, which is declining. So from this they conclude that there are more people buying and holding for the long term and not selling even when the price reaches new all-time highs. And if everybody would do it this way, that would mean that the less Bitcoin is available to buy, the price would keep climbing until someone starts to sell again. That's because the Bitcoin supply is limited to 21 million coins. Therefore, it's just supply and demand. So no one is selling, there is just demand to buy. The price will skyrocket. And finally, a cool idea from Chico Crypto video that the Ethereum could split in two, and that's the reason why he starting to buy Ethereum over Bitcoin. He explains this really well in the video, so I will leave this to you if you want to check this out. But just in short, he thinks that there is gonna be some fork in the Ethereum. He calls it a hard fork in Ethereum, and if I understood this correctly, it would pretty much mean that all the available Ethereum coins would double for a short period of time, but feel free to correct me on that one in the comments. And this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If so, smash the like button to help me with the YouTube algorithm to reach more people, and also consider subscribing if you want to see more of this type of content in the future. I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers!